Welcome to another episode of Oh, She's Funny. I'm your host, LP, and today we have a guest that I fell in love with on the set of many Funny or Die videos that I forced her to be in. But you may have said, Oh, she's funny when you saw her in Minx or Righteous Gemstones or Bob's Burgers. It's the hilarious and charming Jessica Lowe is here. Hey, buddy, how are
Hey,
you?
buddy. Nice to see ya.
So happy that you're here. I'm such a big fan of yours from the first moment I saw you on a ridiculous set for the internet. And I remember what it was. Do you have any idea?
Was it the Pepsi commercials that
Uh,
we did like 500 of?
It was the Pepsi commercials, and we're going to name that brand, and we're going to say exactly what you had to do.
We had to dress up as people's Facebook pictures and then
Yes.
imitate them drinking Pepsi next for the first time.
Yeah, you were like improvising as someone who was like a real person. You had their Facebook profile to like draw inspiration from, and then you had to like act as them
Yeah,
drinking this new type of Pepsi. It almost didn't make any sense to me, like as we were doing it. And
no.
you were just like so funny. Every character that came out was like nailing it, like so hilarious. I was like, who is this girl? I'm putting her in everything from now on forever. And then I made you do a cat litter commercial
Made
series.
me do that was that
Made you,
that
forced you to
that
do all
buttered
of
my
these.
bread for a little bit.
So glad. And then I was lucky enough to put you in Desperados. I don't know. I put you in a lot of Funny or Die videos, but you're always at the top of my list for everything because you're a scene stealer, you're funny,
Oh,
you're
so
wonderful to
nice.
work with, and I'm glad you're here.
Right back at you, kid.
Oh, thanks so much. How's life? How are you? Where are we finding you?
Life is
It's a tough
pretty
question for people
it's
these days.
it's pretty unbusy.
That's what everyone's
Um,
saying, but my response to everyone is that it's cyclical and we're
yeah,
really right about to come right back up out of it.
it freaking better be.
Just trust me.
I mean, I've been talking about this a lot with my parents. This is my first year in 12 years where I'm very concerned I'm not going to qualify for health insurance through SAG. In
Yeah.
12 years.
It's really affecting everyone, like really everyone, and everyone's really worried and it's no fun. I want to get back to work. I want to be on sets and making funny things.
Yeah. It'd be nice if comedies were still made. That'd be
It'd be
fucking
nice. People like those, right?
fantastic. Yeah.
Put you in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. You speaking of comedy, watch this. Segue. You do comedy. How'd you get into that?
Perfect segue.
I should host
Perfect
a
segue.
podcast.
Um, he died on a Segway, the inventor,
Shut up.
going off a
Shut
cliff on his
up.
Segway. That sucks. I
That's
let's see,
horrific, but hilarious.
how did I get into
You
comedy?
did improv in college, yeah?
Oh hell yeah! Before that, I would do impressions to amuse my parents and friends,
What
and
kind of impressions?
like I started doing my impression of Coffee Talk when I was like 5 years old, 4 years old.
Like little kid watching SNL, doing all the things.
Yeah, I would memorize SNL sketches and do them in front of people.
Would do this too. I would do Wayne's World mostly.
Yeah,
I love that you did Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk. I've always loved that accent. My
Both
parents were
Mike
just
Myers, by the way. Both
shocked that a little girl from Albuquerque was that invested in working on a New York accent.
so fun though.
And then in high school, I did a bunch of like plays, but I was mostly into speech and debate,
Oh, that's
which is
interesting.
the nerdiest type of performance. I went to
Did you feel like it was a performance or were you interested in it like as some type of political?
Oh no, because I did humorous interp. I did like the
Oh,
most and duo interp where
what
you
are you
cut
saying? Terp?
like short for oh, I can't believe I shortened it. That's so embarrassing. Interpretation. Humorous
Sorry, like
interpretation.
some of us weren't in speech and debate, so we didn't.
So we would cut down movie scripts and theatrical scripts to 10 minutes. And then you were tasked with playing and personifying every single character. So like I
Oh
went to
my
state and
God.
nationals playing every single character from the stage version of Clue.
This is incredible. I can totally imagine you killing this.
Like
What in the
embody Mrs.
world?
Mrs. White and then Colonel Mustard, and it is so it's like performance masturbation. You're just by
This is
yourself
a
popping into character.
hilarious. You should be doing a sh like a live show of this.
I know it's weird, but I loved it. And it's probably what helped me get into a good school.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my God. This, of course you loved that. I was picturing
yeah.
like, serious debate arguments. No, 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 no.
um, and I tore it all over, and I one time went to Chicago because of that, and I was like, this is as big a city as I can handle. I was like afraid of LA, I was afraid of New York, but I love Chicago. I liked how down to earth the people are, and so I went to Northwestern, and I loved it. And
Mm-hmm.
I did the children's theater company called Griffin's Tale. I did film sketch comedy, and then I did short form improv called The Meow Show, and we just celebrated. Apparently, it's the oldest improv troupe in America, collegiate
What?
improv troupe in America. All like 80 alums all went to Evanston like 2 weekends ago,
You did?
and celebrated 50 years of Meow.
That's so cute and nerdy. I love
Yeah,
it. Was
it
it a
was,
blast? Did
yeah,
you
like
guys
I
do
was sitting,
improv?
no, I was on a panel. I was sitting next to Kristen Shaw. Dermot
Oh,
Mulroney was behind me.
Dermot
Anna Gasteyer
Mulroney.
was there. I know. It was crazy. It was so fun. And it made me feel like I was such a part of an elite club.
For sure. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um, and then I went out to LA and I mostly
You
worked
got
with
over your
you.
fear of big cities.
Yeah. Wait, I think I worked with you after I got back from my travels abroad. Because when were you working with Funny or Die?
For so long, like 2008 or something, 2000,
Yeah.
and then till like 2014 or something.
Okay, so it was either before or after this, but um, like almost immediately after getting to LA, I got cast in Boom Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
which is a stage improv and sketch show in Amsterdam,
Hell
similar
yeah.
to like the style of Second City. And so I wrote and performed with them for 2.5 years, based in Amsterdam, but went all over Europe.
You stayed doing that for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I loved it.
You
I
did.
loved it. It was,
It seems
it's
kind of
just
hard,
such,
like traveling and like being on the like
I mean, for
away.
sure. It was definitely where I got my 10,000 hours. I would say that. I definitely got
Mm-hmm.
my reps in. We would do like corporate gigs for pulled steel engineers in Dusseldorf at 8 a.m. Like they don't want comedy at 8 a.m. Germans don't want comedy, period, let alone at 8
Right.
a.m. in front of their colleagues. It was so fun and it was so hard. And then the easiest job I ever had was right after that. I was on a cruise ship with Second City for 4 months,
Where'd you go on that?
sailing from Manhattan to the Caribbean and then shorter itineraries to the Bahamas.
That sounds nice.
It was so easy. It was too easy.
Maybe you want to do
It
that
was,
again.
yeah. Well, oh, they lost their contract, I think,
Oh,
or it
well.
ended. I don't want to
Maybe
say
we could
lost.
fall back on cruise ship entertaining.
Yeah, because everyone wants to be on a cruise ship these days post
Right.
COVID.
Post-COVID. Just trying to think of backup ideas, get to
Yeah,
travel,
I know.
entertain.
Yeah.
It's cyclical
Apparently,
though. It's coming back.
comedian travel series are not getting scooped up very often
Hmm.
because that's every comedian's idea.
Why don't you just follow me around with a camera and let me do what I want to do?
Yeah, only
Like,
Eugene Levy is allowed to do that.
well, he's allowed to do whatever he wants.
And then getting back to LA, took classes at UCB and Groundlings, and then slowly just started doing more like TV. And
People were like, grab her. She's amazing. Get her in everything.
oh, that's nice.
Um, well, I love picturing you as a little girl doing coffee talk, but also let's talk about who was inspiring you as well as a little girl. Who are we talking
Yeah.
about today?
Well, I think one of the most amazing performances I've ever seen for a variety of reasons, which we'll get into, is Marisa Tomei
Hmm.
in My Cousin Vinny.
Applause,
Os-
applause.
Oscar winner, Marisa
Oscar winner
Tomei.
Marissa Tomei
She
for
won
that
for that film, for that role.
Best Supporting Actress against some
Hmm.
heavy hitters.
Yes.
And we both just recently watched it. What a pleasant movie all around,
Yeah, just
first of all.
a gentle fish out of water
Yep.
underdog. He's in a pod story. Like
So,
that's my jam.
and she's so good in it. character-wise, like her accent, her humor, and then there's some really sweet moments where she's like trying to connect with him and be like a good girlfriend, and she's really good.
She just wants to help, and she's very capable. And stupid, tiny Joe Pesci just will not let her help. She's like reading the big book. She's like,
Uh,
"You never heard of disclosure?"
yeah.
Oh
Oh my God.
God.
The scene that really made me laugh this morning was when he's going hunting with the other prosecutor and she starts describing, like, imagine you're a little
Yeah.
deer and your little
You're
deer
taking a
lips as,
cool drink of water out of the stream, and then bam, there goes your head. I love it so bad. It's just the best.
yeah, she really knocks it out of the park. I was reading a little bit about the making of the movie, and the writer of the movie said that the studio, of course, wanted to cut that character out, of course.
It would not have worked.
Yeah, that the writer was like, that's the biggest mistake that we could make with the movie. And they said, like, why don't we give some of these the funny lines to Pesci's character that makes him seem smart? And the writer was like, you absolutely don't understand what's going on at the end of this movie.
Yeah,
And so he was
that's
like, I put more of her in it.
well, she's such a scene stealer. I mean, this is so reminiscent of most comedies, especially from when I was growing up. They're only allowed to have one woman, and
Right.
typically she's not funny. She's like the drag. She's the one who's like bringing them back to reality. She's the one who's
Mm-hmm.
like you're never gonna make it, like that type of thing. This
Yep.
is just a supportive, hilarious, drop dead, gorgeous, sexy
Gorgeous.
woman who's smart and helpful and
Mm.
positive.
So
It's the
smart.
best.
Did you watch this movie over and over as a kid?
Yeah, and like now, because it's always on. If I,
It's always
if
on. You have cable or something?
yeah.
Do you still have cable?
I like
You just
wasting money.
flipping through the channels and watching what's on?
Well, I mean, sometimes.
It's just
How do you
sometimes
think
that's
I've
kind of
seen the end of
relaxing.
Speed 100,000 times?
That is kind of fun where you just have to like deal with what's on and you're like, I guess I'm watching Speed today.
Yeah. Well, if I've like watched all my Housewives, then I have to flip through and just like see what the hell Turner is rerunning.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like to be in a hotel and like just the options are what they are and I'm gonna
Oh
watch.
yeah, that is another way that I've seen it about like all these types of movies, like mid 90s movies a million times is whenever I'm working out of LA, which is usual, typical, they always have crappy TV, but then there's always going to be like some early 90s, mid 90s, early
Right.
aughts movie I
You know,
love.
they study this movie in law schools because it's so well done, like the evidence that's presented in the case and like how they break down the innocence of Ralph Macchio and the other guy. They like it's like one of like four movies that law schools like to look at as like, let's do a case study of this movie because it's like perfectly done.
Is shocking because he is the worst lawyer in the world for the first half of the movie. He's never seen a courtroom. He's never talked to a judge.
No, but by the
Like
end,
I remember, like, I was just thinking as I was rewatching this, I was like, is he lying about going to law school? Because they do have some sort of like procedural classes. So he would know that he needs to say guilty or not guilty when
right,
the
like
judge
what
asks, how do you plead during the arraignment?
right, like why are you so not answering the question? But he's just a stubborn guy, I guess.
Yeah, he failed the bar 6 times.
Street smart, not book smart. I bought the
Yeah,
whole thing.
I bought the whole thing.
I
Obviously,
bought
I
it.
love it.
Yeah. And their entrance into the town when they pull up in that car, and it's just their music's kind of loud, but the the whole town is.
Well, I like that, they do like she's a bombshell shot. They're like going
Yep,
up her
yep,
leg and she's wearing like a tiny mini skirt. And he's like telling her she stands out. She's like, look at you. And he's like, at
yeah.
least I'm wearing cowboy boots.
It's
I mean,
so good.
she doesn't take any shit from him, which I love.
It was a really well-written character. She was
Or
22 years younger than him. Um,
yucky.
and so I read that they tried to use makeup and other ways to make Pesci look a little younger, including putting some pulls in his toupee.
I noticed
Did
that.
you
I
notice
noticed
that?
he had like what women do now, where they do the
Yes.
threads to give themselves fox brows.
He
He
had
had full
pulled,
on,
his eyes were definitely in some scenes pulled more than others.
yeah, the arch of his eyebrow was no more. They were just straight arrows back to the temples.
Yeah. That was something stuck in his toupee to help with the age gap. That was the only thing in the movie, like when they were making out, it was a little bit like, yeah, yeah, but it was still, she's such a good actress. It was sweet.
Yeah, there was, I mean, like, thank God there wasn't a full blown like sex scene because that would have been
That would have
horrific.
ruined.
But
Yeah, that's
I
unnecessary.
I liked that they're when they're talking about torque in the bathroom because the faucet's dripping and she's
Hmm.
describing how she measured the torque, and uh that like turns them on. Like that's their foreplay, is putting together very like incredible arguments.
Yeah, like expert
Expert
logistics.
level, cogent,
Yeah.
logistical arguments.
Yeah. And him so impressed with her at the courtroom. Yeah. Really well done. Every one of them. Great job, Dale Launer, the writer.
Great job, Dale.
Great job,
Yeah,
Dale.
my when we were watching it this morning with my parents, they were like, my mom was saying there must have been a female writer on staff because they wrote her so smart, and I was like, I
Mhm.
think it
There
was
must have been,
written
yeah.
by
I'm
a
sure
man.
they brought all those women right in there to their
Yeah, they just
opinions.
he wanted to have a huge staff of female
They couldn't wait.
writers. Yeah, they loved that back then.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get some women in
Every
here. I love moms.
I love moms, so trusting.
My sweet mom the other day was like, I'm seeing a lot more celebrities in commercials lately. Is that because of the strikes? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
She's just talking about Travis Kelsey.
I don't know. Like, do you just recognize one person and then this is what we where we got? There's
Yeah,
always celebrities in commercials.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Moms.
Moms.
There was also when Marisa Tomei won the Oscar, there was like an urban legend that there was a mix-up, like Moonlight La La Land style, like that the presenter read the wrong name. It was Jack Palance, and they were like, he was drunk, and it was supposed to be Vanessa Redgrave or something. And this has been like unproven. She definitely was supposed to have won, but there was this like kind of nasty rumor, like to undermine her.
Good Lord.
Poor Marissa Tomei.
Poor Marisa Tomei. And then I was trying to think what I'd seen. What was she in after this? Because this powerful of a performance that is like I feel like is so often referenced in future performances. I mean,
Hmm.
why was she not in everything?
She
Like,
was like, she said she felt like she got work after she won that Oscar. I read an interview with her.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't remember a ton of things, obviously, like the wrestler, but yeah, what was she
She's great in
in?
that.
But that
Just
was so much
heart of
later.
gold, wounded woman. I know that is. She should have been in literally everything from '93 until
Let me tell you
2024.
something. I'm scrolling through her IMDb. It is not short.
Okay, great, good.
It is not short. She was on Seinfeld, so give it up for that. Chaplin, Untamed Heart. Wasn't that a cute movie with Christian
What?
Slater?
What is that?
That was with Christian Slater. Oh, and do you remember Only You with Robert Downey Jr.?
I don't think I saw that one.
That one is a good one. They're like, that's a good romantic comedy. Yeah, she did okay. She's all right.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's gonna be fine. But
I
the
haven't watched these other
iconic
movies.
role, do you remember the public defender in the movie who had like a stutter?
Hmm.
He said that he regrets nothing more in his life than doing this movie. He, he gets still stopped like and asked to perform a stutter like speech for people, and he feels terrible now because it's like not as cool to make fun of people who have a stutter. And he feels like it like pigeonholed him into this character, and he never really worked again afterwards. And he's like, it's my biggest regret of life.
That is shocking. I We had this discussion with my sweet mother. She was saying, "Oh, they probably couldn't do that these days, don't you think?"
No,
And I said,
I don't
"Yeah,
think.
yeah, probably not." The only thing that is possibly a saving grace is that he's perfectly capable of speaking clearly when he's just talking to the clients.
It didn't feel mean.
It was only because he gets stage fright.
Yeah, it didn't feel like we're making like look how dumb this guy is. It just was like he's having a stage fright experience.
And like I liked how he played it when he is asking the guy who made the grits, the one of the three great witnesses, what color eyes they have, and he goes brown and hazel green, which is exactly right. And he like the prosecutor or the defender is saying, he goes, no further questions. Like he
Yep.
just nailed it.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that he didn't act like he lost any power after all that.
It didn't seem like a mean performance at all, but that poor guy is not happy about it.
Mm. Mm.
Sorry to him. And
Yeah.
the Karate Kid Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. Did this
We-
kill his career?
Well, it's cute that he was in it because that was after Karate Kid, right? So like it was
Yeah.
cute that
Karate
he
Kid was
was
84.
and uh and he's like perfectly fine in it, but yeah, what happened to him? He's in Karate Kid
Well,
now,
yeah.
which is actually pretty good.
Everyone loves Cobra Kai. They
Cobra
love it.
Kai, have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it.
I mean, if you're out of time on the Housewives take up a lot of time if
It's
you're really
true.
committed, you know?
It, I am fully committed to that,
I'm fully
unfortunately, and
committed.
it's totally making my brain leak out of my ears when I sleep on my side. But other than that, I love it. Candace
Good
is pregnant now. Good for Candace.
for Candace. She really wants it. And honestly, she shouldn't be on the show when she's pregnant.
No, no,
She
no,
doesn't need
no.
that stress.
She is already so emotional. She's
Mm-hmm.
gonna need every triangle in the Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Robin's
Potomac.
off.
Yeah,
Okay. You know what? That's fine.
that's fine. That's fine.
And then today I saw Andy's negotiating an exit package, and then Andy's people were like, "No, we're not. Andy
Andy's
can't.
leaving.
He can't leave. He's not leaving
I think I saw something on Apple News that he's in trouble for promoting like a bullying culture at Bravo.
because of
And
that lawsuit."
possibly the New York lawsuit.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but I think he sort of like pranky, sort of Ellen DeGeneres type of
ooh.
bullying.
Uh-oh.
Am I not allowed to talk crap about
He
Ellen?
seems nice, but he's not so nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I will
A
not speak
lot of
ill of Bravo.
I don't want to speak ill of Bravo either. And you know what? A lot of those housewives came to his defense. He seems like the most fun.
Yeah,
Let's go to on Watch What Happens Live and be bartenders.
I would die to do that.
Wouldn't you
I would
die?
die. It would be the best.
Ah,
That's
I
the
lo-
level of fame I want. I mean, to be one of the
I feel
people in the
like
chairs would
you
be incredible.
for sure, the chairs, ultimate goals. I feel like you could get yourself on the bartender.
I need to be on Cobra Kai, and then I can be him.
If we can get you on Cobra Kai and then we can get you, no, if there was like a current season of a show you're on, you can be on a bartender spot.
To
Once
be
we're all
honest,
working again, that's gonna
yeah.
happen.
What is it called? The Villains? It's crazy. I can't think of the name
The
because it's my
traders?
favorite show. Oh, Traitors. I emailed all of my reps. I want to be on that show, and they were like, "What are you talking about? Are you insane?" And I used to play murder, or
Oh,
werewolf, whatever
sure,
you want to
yeah.
call it, and I would crush. I would crush. I would always be the person who picked out the killer, and I would always, if I was a killer, murder everyone, and no one would have any idea.
I was like that too because no one thinks I'm a good liar or that I'm a liar. And the secret
Yeah.
is I'm a liar. Don't
If
tell
someone
anyone.
is very vocal and then they do the shoulder tapping ceremony and then they hush up, you know they're
You
a
know,
traitor.
if you don't have any idea who might be a traitor, you're a traitor.
Yes, 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 yes. If you don't
You
have an
gotta
opinion,
suggest someone.
Adra,
Phaedra, you gotta suggest someone, but she really was the best. That show was awesome.
she was the best.
I wonder what kind of comedy we would like if Bravo was around when we were children.
Ugh, I don't know. More meaner comedies?
Maybe
I don't know.
Marisa Tomei as
More argumentative.
a New York housewife,
Incredible.
original.
Incredible.
Yeah. Um, Well, she's the best. Does she have anything coming out soon that we can plug for her?
Let's
Upcoming.
see.
Something called You're Dating a Narcissist in post-production.
Oh God. It makes me feel
Honestly,
crazy if she doesn't.
that's
She's only 5'3". That was probably required for her to be like in Pesci's arms. Also, he definitely had to stand on blocks.
for sure. How tall are you?
5'6.5".
Oh, what a
I
life you
usually
lead.
say only 5'7". How tall are you?
I'm 5'2.5", and I used to say 5'2" until about like 3 months ago, where I was like, why am I rounding down? I'm rounding up now. And so this is new, and I'm going to say I'm 5'3". And do you know how much more
I
powerful I feel? So much.
so much. Do you get
I,
more
f-
respect from your children?
I feel like people can tell. I'm like
They're
5'3", and
like,
like I feel like people are looking at me like, there's no way.
they're like, well, her hair is high.
Yeah, maybe my hair gives me that extra half inch that I need.
Um, man, it that is something that sort of bums me out very hard is you can give this type of performance and not just work. I guess she's worked consistently. Just
She's
there have
worked.
been less successful projects that she's been in.
But when did that movie come out? 80 what?
92.
92. So
Yeah.
she did well in the 90s, and then maybe we didn't have as much box office success, and then we come back with a wrestler, Spider-Man, and now you're dating a narcissist, which sounds like it's probably a book. Don't you think that's a book title?
Yeah.
This is a complete guess from me. An outspoken psychologist rushes to Los Angeles with her best friend to stop her lovesick daughter's wedding, fearing the groom is a narcissist. Can't wait, to be
Why am I
honest.
not in that movie?
Honestly, why didn't I direct this movie? Anne Marie Allison did, and she wrote it. Good for her. It's probably great. Sounds like a comfy comedy. Like, I got to stop my daughter's wedding. I get it. Let's watch. Love it.
Cozy comedy.
Yeah, that's all I want. Cozy comedies.
Oh, she wrote Golden Arm.
What's that? Oh, is that the arm
Um,
wrestling movie?
hmm Yeah. Okay, I'm a fan.
Yeah, let's plug You're Dating a Narcissist. Oh, speaking of plugging things, I feel like we did a great job.
Hmm
Talked about Marisa Tomei. We talked about you. We talked about me. Not enough, but we talked about me. I want to do every week I recommend something that's falls under the oh she's funny category, which I'm gonna just put an asterisk on she because it's a big umbrella. There's theys, thems, there's maybe some he's in there. So this week I'm recommending a podcast called Handsome, which is Tig Notaro, Fortune Feimster, and Mae Martin's podcast. And it's the three of them, and they're all three of them are stand-ups, and they're all homosexuals of some persuasion. I don't know how they all identify. Um, but they're queer some way. But they're really funny, and they have like a celebrity come on and ask them a question, can be about anything, and they just answer it, and they talk to each other, and it really cracks me up every week. So check out Handsome Podcast. And Jess, where might we find you on the internet if people want to find you socially?
My Instagram handle is Jess Marlowe, JessMarlo. And it's often why people think my last name is Marlowe because I keep blowing it. When TikTok came out, I'm never an early adopter, and there's a lot of Jessica Lowe's.
Where'd Marlo come from? Is it your middle name?
Yeah, Marie Lowe.
That's kind of cool. So let them think it, man. It's so scary to pick your screen name and then you can't change it. And then what did you pick it when you're 13? Like, man.
Yeah,
And then people have cool ones like Cinnamon Princess or something. That's not a cool one, but like other kinds of
like
cool
Lana
ones.
Del Rey is honeymoon. That's fun.
That's cool. Yeah. Like one of my friends is Last Mango in Paris. Like, what's that mean? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Oh boy. But
Um,
that's basically it. And then
we done good. Well, thank you for talking about your life and Marissa Tomei. And thanks everybody for listening. And we will be back next week. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Bye bye.
bye.